BestBookBits.com presents How to Have Your Best Year Ever by Rohn. Experience a year unlike any you've known before. Imagine yourself as the person you've always wanted to be. How far are you from that vision today? Whether you're a short step or a long journey away, the energizing and highly motivating video seminar will give you the tools and confidence you need to get all the way there and then go miles beyond it. In How to Have Your Best Year Ever, Rohn acts as your guide towards guaranteed personal and professional success. Learn to transform your life fast, including how to keep your priorities straight, release yourself from the crowd of followers, reverse failure by uncovering the essence of it, make yourself more valuable, discover the 4 seasons of opportunity and make them work for you, ignite your ambition and launch yourself to the highest heights. The written and audio summary can be found on our website, bestbookbits.com. So without further ado, I bring the book summary of How to Have Your Best Year Ever. Some do and some don't. Why? We don't know. Sincerity is not a measure of truth. 3 ways to get the most out of this talk. Number 1, be thankful for what we already have. It opens up. Cynicism locks the doors. Number 2, listen well. Number 3, take good notes. Be a good student. Don't be a follower. Be a student. Make sure what you do is the product of your own conclusions. 5 major pieces, the fundamentals. Number 1, philosophy, the major determining factor. It is what we know and think. Got to think and process ideas. The set of the sail. Can't change the wind, so change the sail. Don't blame all you've got to work with. Start with your mind, your thinking, your philosophy. Failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. It is accumulated disaster. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Number 2 is attitude. It is how we feel about the past, about the future. The promise of the future is an awesome force. How we feel about everything else, appreciation. How you feel about yourself, self-worth. Place high value on yourself. If somebody else can do it, I can do it. Life change starts with education. Life change starts with education, not inspiration. If a guy is an idiot and you motivate him, now you've got a motivated idiot. Get educated to the point where you've messed up. Number 3, activity. The work, the labor. If you will plant the seed, God will make the tree. Give God the tough end of the deal. Invest philosophy and attitude into action and you get a miracle. Turn wisdom, faith and discipline into action to perform a miracle. Number 1, do what you can. Number 2, do the best you can. Could change, should change, won't change equals disaster. Could change, should change, will change. Miracle belongs to you. Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it doesn't work. Get a list of the things you should be doing and clean it up. Do them. Don't postpone like other people. Postpone. Procrastinate. Take action on neglect in disciplines. Start forming disciplines. Start forming disciplines. Do the best you can. Your philosophy on activity will determine your next years. Number 4 is results. Got to measure every once in a while. Don't let too much time go by without checking the results. See if you got the wrong plan. See if you got the wrong plan. How many books have you read? How many classes have you taken? What does your bank balance look like? Results is the name of the game. Life only asks that we make measurable progress in reasonable time. Some things you got to check every day, others weekly. Got to be honest with yourself. Got to be honest with yourself. The truth will set you free. The truth is for amending our errors and finding new disciplines. Don't curse what is available and start amending what is possible to get the results you want, and you will have great personal change. How many pounds overweight should you be at 50 years old? Start checking your own numbers. Number 5 is lifestyle, learning how to live well. Ultimate challenge of life after applying philosophy, attitude, and action to get results is how to fashion yourself a good life. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. If you were to show me your current economic plan, would it excite me so much that I would want to travel across the country teaching it to others? Why not? If you wish to be happy, study happiness. Happiness is something you design, not an accident. Happiness is within the grasp of all of us. Happiness is a study. Wealth is a study. Don't be lazy in learning. Learn how to do well and learn how to live well. If two tip amounts come into mind, always go with the higher amount. Become the higher thinking person. Become the higher thinking person. Money doesn't make you happy. Personal development. It is hard to give up blaming everything but yourself for your current economic, social, and emotional woes. But it is not what happens that determines the major part of your future. What happens to us all. The key is what you do about it. If you will start the process of change, even a small one, everything will change. Everything will change. What you have at this moment, you have attracted by the person you've become. You've got to transition to take responsibility for where you are in life. If you would change, everything would change for you. To have more, you have to become more. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Start with money. It's not the only value, but it's an easy to count and measure. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. It takes time to bring value, but we don't get paid for time. We get paid for value. We get paid for value. Is it possible to become 2 times, 3 times as valuable and make 2 times, 3 times the money in the same amount of time? Of course. Simply become more valuable. The facts. If you're not very valuable, you won't get much money. You can't get rich by demand. Become more valuable. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you will make a fortune. Develop the skills. Can't change the world and how it works, so work on yourself. Life and business is like the seasons. You cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself. Things are not going to change. The next 10 years will be pretty much like the last 10 years. Short description of human history. Opportunity mixed with difficulty. If you change though, everything will change for you. Number 1, learn how to handle the winters. They come after fall. Emotional, social, economic, personal. What do you do about them? Get wiser, stronger, better. Wiser, read more, listen, watch. Stronger, work out, practice. Better, develop the skills. Number 2, learn how to take advantage of the springs. They follow winter. Spring equals opportunity. Spring equals opportunity. Got to take advantage. The key is to plant in the spring. Seize the day. Life is brief. Number 3, in the summer, nourish and protect. Become capable and powerful. Bugs and weeds will take the garden unless you protect it. Nourish the garden and kill the weeds. Summer is a scenario of opportunity and threat. If you just think positive, that too is too naive. You got to think negative too. Deal with your enemies in the summer. And number 4, reap in the harvest fall without complaint or apology. Must take personal responsibility. No apology for doing well and no complaint for doing poorly. Physical personal development. Take care of yourself. Treat your body like a temple, not a woodshed. Treat your body like a temple, not a woodshed. Some people don't do well because they don't feel well. Vitality is a major part of success. Some people take better care of their pets, take more care in what they feed their animals than they do of themselves. You never have a second chance to make a first impression with your appearance. God may look on the inside, but people look on the outside. It's the world we live in. After people get to know you, they will start to judge the substance, but they see the outside first. So make sure the outside is a major reflection on what is going on inside. Spiritual, study it, and if you are a believer, practice it. Mental, learn, study, grow, change. Learn, study, grow, change. Human development takes time. Wild beasts only have a few minutes after birth to learn to run because of the lions. A human baby, after 16 years, we are not sure if it's ready to survive. Feeding and nourishing the mind takes time. Get ready to debate great life issues. Got to be able to defend your philosophy, virtues, and values. Need a good library. Need a good library. Most homes over 250,000 have a library. Your library needs to show you're a serious student. Can't live on mental candy. Some recommended books. Number 1, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Great book. Has some weird stuff in it. Number 2, Richest Man in Babylon. Good book on wealth fundamentals. And number 3, How to Read a Book. Has list of the best writings ever written. Your library needs to be balanced. Some sections are for your library. History. Recommends Lessons of History by Durant. Philosophy. Recommends Story of Philosophy, also by Durant. Don't just read the easy stuff. You won't grow. Novels. Philosophy often interwoven into the story. Skip the trash. Biographies. Stories of both successful and unsuccessful people. Examples and warnings. Good and evil. Accounting. At least a primary understanding. Law. Need to know what to sign and what not to sign. Don't need to be a lawyer, but knowing a little law will protect you. Economics. How to become financially independent. Culture and sophistication. It is a part of the fabric of the nation. Be a student of dance, art, music. Spirituality. Study it. And if you are a believer, study and practice. Keep a journal. Don't trust your memory. Keep a journal. Do not trust your memory. If you hear something or come across something important, write it down. Buy empty books and fill them with valuable notes. Go back over them and let it instruct you and feed your mind and soul again. 3 treasures that you leave behind. Number 1 is pictures. Take lots of pictures. Number 2 is your library. Books that taught you to become healthy, wealthy, and powerful. Number 3, your journals. The ideas you picked up. Be student enough to write things down. The 5 abilities. Number 1, absorb. Be like a sponge. Don't miss anything. Learn to get from the day, not through the day. Wherever you are, be there. Let your heart, mind, and soul take pictures. Pay attention. Number 2 is respond. Let life touch you. Don't let life kill you, but let it touch you. Give in to emotion. Your emotions need to be as educated as your intellect. Need to know how to respond to life, to people. And number 3 is reflect. Go back over, study it again, remember. Go back over books, notes, your day. Good time to reflect. Number 1, at the end of the day for 1 hour. Number 2, at the end of the week for a few hours. Number 3, at the end of the month for half a day. And number 4, at the end of the year, take a weekend. Solitude when you reflect is important. You can reflect with your spouse, your family, or your colleagues, but it is important to spend some time to reflect with yourself. Reflection makes the past more valuable for the future. Gather up the past and invest it in the next day, the next week, the next year. Self-development earns respect, makes you better for others. Number 4, act. Take action. Don't be hasty, but don't waste much time. Act when the idea is hot and the emotion is strong. Otherwise, you fall prey to the law of diminishing intent. All disciplines affect each other. Everything affects everything else. Every letdown in discipline affects the rest of your performance. Every new discipline affects the rest of your performance. That is why action is so important. Action is so important. Greatest value of discipline, self-worth or self-esteem. Lack of self-discipline erodes the psyche, affects your philosophy. One neglect leads to another. Just start the smallest of disciplines and watch how it grows into another and another. Walk away from the 97%. Walk away from the 97% who don't do what they can. Don't talk like they talk. Don't read what they read. Don't watch what they watch. Don't use their excuses and their blame list. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. Labor well, learn well, discipline yourself well. Take charge of your own retirement, life, day, family, possibility. Join the 3% of people who are doers. Join the 3% of people who are doers. Do what you can, do the best you can, and rest very little. Make rest a necessity, not an objective. The objective of life is to act. Number 5 is share. Pass along to someone else. If you share with 10 people, they get to hear the idea once and you get to hear it 10 times. You will get more out of it. Everybody wins when somebody shares. Sharing helps you, helps the person you share with. Sharing makes you bigger than you are, increases your capacity so you can hold more of the next experience. Some people can't be happy and can't be wealthy because they aren't big enough. Setting goals. Goals are your vision of the future. You can either face the future with apprehension or with anticipation. Most face it with apprehension. If you don't make plans on your own, you will fall into someone else's plan. Need to make a not much list. If the economy improves, if taxes get a little smaller, if you get a small raise at your job, if negative relatives become positive, if the right political party got into power, etc., it would not do much for you. And too many people are counting on this list. Count on your ability to design the future. If the promise of the future is clear and powerful, the price is easy to pay. The price is a few small disciplines practiced every day. Get a handle on the future. Set your own goals. It is this simple. Decide what you want and write it down. Decide what you want and write it down. That's it. It is your own private list, so write whatever you want on it, no matter how small or silly. Keep your list year after year so you can go back and look at it. Get together with your spouse, your kids, your colleagues, and come up with some goals. Put become a millionaire on your list for what it will make of you to achieve it, for what it will make of you to achieve it. The greatest value in life is not what you get, it is what you become. Major question to ask on the job is not, what am I getting here? The major question to ask is, what am I becoming here? When you have become a millionaire, what is important is not the money. You can give that away. What is important is the kind of person you have become. Set the kind of goals that will make something of you to achieve them. Don't set goals too low. Don't join the easy crowd. Go where demands to grow is high, where expectations and excellence are strong. Don't compromise. Don't sell out. Count the cost. Judas got the money. Success? No. Great source of unhappiness is self-unhappiness. Starts with being a little less than you can be. Be aware of this. Financial independence. What should a child or adult do with $1? Don't spend more than 70 cents of every dollar. If your outgo exceeds your income, your upkeep will be your downfall. What to do with 30 cents out of $1? 10 cents charity, helping people who can't help themselves. Nothing teaches character better than generosity. It's best to start with small amounts. Easy to give 10 cents out of $1 than to give $100,000 out of $1 million. 10 cents active capital. Try to make a profit yourself. Profits are better than wages. Wages will make you a living. Profits will make you a fortune. There are many ways to show a profit. Leave things better than you found them. Become a person who leaves a profit. Profit has potential to make a fortune. And 10 cents passive capital. Interest-bearing investment. Loan it out. Stocks, bonds, etc. The borrower is servant to the lender. The borrower is servant to the lender. Be the lender. This is an ideal. Set it up and work towards it. It's not the amount that counts, it's the plan. You can start with 97 cents out of $1 spending and giving 1 cent away, 1 for active capital and 1 cent for passive capital. The numbers will change. It is just a good sample philosophy. Keep strict amounts. Know where your money is going. Don't let it just get away from you. Get a new attitude. Hate to pay my taxes? Get past this. Taxes help pay for democracy, liberty, and freedom. That is the goose that lays the golden eggs. Hate to pay bills? Get beyond this. Bills reduce your liability and increase your assets. Everybody must pay, even if it is only pennies. Spend, invest, show a profit, help others. Communication. Effective communication is how to affect people with words. Words can work miracles. They are powerful and have dramatic effects. Have something good to say. Be prepared. Interest. Show interest in the subject. Then go beyond that and show fascination. Turn frustration into fascination if you can. Sensitivity. Understand other people. You have to be touched and moved by the drama in other people's lives so you connect with them where they are. This involves emotion. Knowledge. Take notes. Gather knowledge. Don't be lazy and learn in. Say it well. Sincerity. Repetition, mother of skill. Brevity. Sometimes you don't need many words. Vocabulary. There is a relationship between vocabulary and behavior. Words are a way of seeing and expressing. Stretch your vocabulary. Read your audience. What you see, body language. What you hear, kids will tell you. What you feel, emotional signals. Women naturally better at this than men. Intensity. Your words need to be mixed with emotion. It has an incredible effect. Put more of you into what you say. Don't be casual in communication. Emotions must be measured. Don't shoot a cannon at a rabbit. You need a well-chosen words mixed with measured emotion. The more you care, the stronger you can be. The negative and the positive. Negative. There is a time to laugh and a time to cry. Life is not all positive. Negative is normal. It is a normal part of life. It should not be ignored because it needs to be mastered. Need the ant philosophy. Never quit and think winter or summer. Positive. The day that turns your life around. Things that turn your life around. Number 1 is disgust. Normally associate as negative, but can be positive. It is when you say, I've had it. No more. Enough is enough. If you can add on act to it, that helps. Number 2 is decision. You can make a decision that turns your life around. Number 3 is desire. Wanting to bad enough. Sometimes desire waits for a trigger, like meeting someone or not being able to do something that you want. Welcome all experiences because you never know which one will turn everything on. And number 4 is resolve. Saying I will, do or die. Promising yourself you will never give up do it until you succeed. Final thoughts. Learn to help people with their lives. Touch people with a book, with words. Help them with their goals and dreams. If you will work on your gifts, they will make room for you. And that's a wrap on How to Have Your Best Year Ever by Jim Rohn. Subscribe to the channel and take a look at the hundreds of book summaries uploaded previously. To find hundreds of written summaries, check out our website, bestbookbits.com. And for hundreds of audio summaries, find us on mixcloud.com/bestbookbits. If you want to help and be a contributor, get involved in the channel by reading a book, writing a summary, and emailing us at info@bestbookbits.com to have it featured. Thanks for watching and listening, and have yourself an amazing day and the next best year ever.